Mitsubishi has just dropped a bombshell on the auto industry, and no one saw it coming. The CEO has officially revealed plans for a brand new pickup truck priced at just $22,000, and the competition is absolutely stunned. At a time when Ford, GM, Toyota, and even Hyundai are pushing their trucks into the $35,000 to $50,000 range, Mitsubishi is rewriting the rulebook. This move isn't just bold, it's disruptive, and it could completely change the way Americans look at affordable trucks. For years, Mitsubishi has struggled to regain its footing in the US market. Known for models like the Outlander and Eclipse Cross, the brand has been quietly rebuilding its strategy. But now, with this $22,000 pickup, Mitsubishi is aiming directly at the heart of the market, the millions of drivers who want a truck but can't or won't pay today's bloated prices. The message is clear: trucks don't have to cost as much as a luxury car, and Mitsubishi is here to prove it. What makes this truck even more shocking is how it's positioned. While Ford and GM are still focused on massive full-size pickups, Mitsubishi is betting big on a compact, practical, and highly affordable design. Reports suggest the truck will prioritize fuel efficiency, reliability, and smart features over unnecessary bulk. And that's exactly what younger buyers, first-time truck owners, and budget-conscious families are demanding right now. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Mitsubishi isn't trying to copy the big players. Instead, they're leaning into their strengths, engineering simple, durable vehicles that can handle tough conditions without breaking the bank. Early hints suggest this pickup could share DNA with the global Triton, a truck already respected in Asia and Australia for its rugged build and affordable price. If Mitsubishi adapts that formula for the US, they could have a serious winner on their hands. The auto industry's reaction? Absolute shock. Ford and Chevy executives have been caught off guard because they've spent years pushing buyers toward high-margin luxury trucks. Toyota has been focused on hybrid powertrains and premium trims. And suddenly, Mitsubishi comes in with a sub-$25,000 option that could undercut everyone. Analysts are already warning that this move could pressure competitors to slash prices or risk losing a huge chunk of the entry-level market. And let's not forget, this isn't just about price. Mitsubishi has been hinting at modern safety features, practical interiors, and even electrification down the line. Imagine a $22,000 truck that doesn't just save you money at the dealership, but also saves you money at the pump. That's the kind of one-two punch that could push Mitsubishi back into relevance in North America in a way no one thought possible. Now, the big question is, how will Mitsubishi pull this off while keeping the price so low? Will they cut corners, or do they have a strategy that could force the entire industry to rethink truck pricing models? Some experts believe Mitsubishi is counting on global production efficiencies, building the truck in regions where costs are lower, and then bringing it to the US with a razor-sharp price tag. Others think this is just the first step, a way to get buyers into showrooms before offering higher trims and electrified versions. But what's undeniable is the timing. With truck prices reaching record highs, buyers are fed up. Used trucks are selling for nearly as much as new ones, and affordability has become the biggest concern across the entire auto market. Mitsubishi's CEO clearly sees this gap, and they're moving fast to take advantage of it before anyone else dares to follow. And that's where things get really fascinating, because Mitsubishi's new pickup doesn't just arrive in a vacuum. It lands in a market already buzzing with compact trucks like the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz, both of which have proven that Americans are ready for smaller, smarter, and more affordable trucks. But here's the kicker. While the Maverick starts at around $24,000 and the Santa Cruz closer to $27,000, Mitsubishi is undercutting them both with a $22,000 entry point. That might not sound like a huge gap at first, but today's economy, $2,000 to $5,000 is the difference between someone buying new or being forced into the used market. The Maverick, for example, has been a runaway success, but Ford can't keep up with demand and has faced criticism for dealer markups and limited availability of the base model. Buyers often walk into a showroom expecting to pay $24,000, only to walk out with a $30,000 bill for a mid-trim version. Hyundai's Santa Cruz, while stylish and versatile, has leaned more toward lifestyle buyers than pure truck owners. With a design that prioritizes comfort over ruggedness, Mitsubishi, on the other hand, seems ready to fill the sweet spot, a truck that's both affordable and capable without the inflated price tag or lifestyle marketing spin. Then there's Toyota. The Tacoma has long been the king of midsize trucks, but Even its latest redesign comes in at a much higher cost than Mitsubishi's offering. Toyota's focus is on hybrid power and off-road performance, but not everyone wants or needs a $35,000 plus truck. Mitsubishi's play here is smart. It's not trying to dethrone the Tacoma in off-road circles. It's targeting the everyday buyer who just wants a reliable, affordable truck for hauling, commuting, or weekend projects. That's a market segment that Toyota has slowly abandoned as prices climbed. The ripple effect could be enormous. If Mitsubishi succeeds, Ford and Hyundai might be forced to drop their entry-level pricing closer to Mitsubishi's range. Toyota might have to rethink its pricing strategy or risk losing budget-minded buyers altogether. Even Nissan with its Frontier could feel the pressure, since that truck has been struggling to stand out in a crowded midsize market. And let's not forget GM and Ram, who have so far ignored the compact truck trend altogether. Mitsubishi's move could push them to scramble and release budget models of their own. What's so striking is that Mitsubishi is flipping the script on what value means in the truck world. For the past decade, automakers have told consumers that trucks must be bigger, fancier, and more expensive. But Mitsubishi's CEO is saying the opposite. Keep it simple, keep it affordable, and people will line up. That kind of bold thinking could mark the start of a pricing war the industry hasn't seen in decades. And if Mitsubishi really leans into this, the truck could become more than just a bargain option. It could symbolize a return to sanity in vehicle pricing. Because let's face it, buyers are tired of paying luxury car prices for basic utility. With this move, Mitsubishi isn't just launching a truck, they're challenging the very direction the auto industry has been heading. And that's exactly the bigger story here, because this isn't just about one truck. It's about Mitsubishi's shot at redemption in the US market. Let's be honest, for years Mitsubishi has been more of an afterthought in America. Their lineup has leaned heavily on crossovers like the Outlander. And while those models have loyal fans, they've never managed to ignite excitement the way the brand once did with legends like the Eclipse or the Lancer Evolution. This new pickup could be the spark Mitsubishi desperately needs. A halo product that reminds Americans the brand still knows how to take risks and build vehicles people actually want. The brilliance of this move is that Mitsubishi isn't trying to outmuscle the giants at their own game. They're carving out a lane that the others have ignored. Ford, GM, and Ram are obsessed with massive full-size trucks because they're cash cows. Toyota and Nissan have been focused on midsize, but nobody has truly committed to owning the affordable compact truck space. The Maverick tried, but supply issues and dealer markups pushed it out of reach for many buyers. Hyundai's Santa Cruz is unique but niche. That leaves a giant opening, and Mitsubishi looks ready to storm through it. This strategy also plays perfectly into Mitsubishi's global strengths. Around the world, especially in markets like Southeast Asia and Australia, Mitsubishi has a reputation for building tough, dependable, no-nonsense trucks. The Triton is a workhorse in those regions, trusted by farmers, workers, and families alike. By adapting that formula for the US and combining it with an unbeatable price, Mitsubishi could position themselves as the brand for real, everyday truck buyers, not just the luxury crowd. If this truck catches on, the ripple effect for Mitsubishi's brand could be enormous. Showrooms that have been quiet for years could suddenly see new foot traffic. Younger buyers who never even considered Mitsubishi before could become loyalists, and existing owners who might have felt the brand was fading would finally have a reason to get excited again. In many ways, this truck isn't just another product. It's Mitsubishi's make-or-break moment in the US. And here's the twist that could make things even more dramatic. Mitsubishi is part of the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance. That means this $22,000 pickup could share platforms, technology, or components with Nissan. Imagine a scenario where Mitsubishi proves there's huge demand for a budget truck. Suddenly, Nissan could piggyback on that success with a cheaper Frontier variant, or even launch a new compact model of their own. The alliance could leverage global scale in a way no other automaker can, driving prices even lower and flooding the market with affordable trucks at a time when buyers are begging for them. The auto industry isn't just watching Mitsubishi, they're worried. Because this isn't just a product launch, it's a direct challenge to the profit structure of the entire truck segment. If Mitsubishi succeeds, other brands won't be able to keep charging sky-high prices without losing market share. And that's why competitors are stunned, because this single move has the potential to force a massive industry-wide correction. And yes, this is where things could get explosive. A full-blown price war in the truck market. For decades, automakers have been able to push prices higher and higher because there was no real challenger willing to undercut them. Trucks became profit machines, often selling for $50,000, $60,000, or even more with options. Buyers didn't have much of a choice, and brands like Ford and GM practically conditioned people to believe that trucks had to cost as much as luxury sedans. But Mitsubishi just broke that illusion with a $22,000 starting point. Here's why that matters. Once one brand proves it can be done, others are forced to follow. If Mitsubishi gains traction, Ford can't just sit there with the Maverick priced thousands higher. Hyundai can't keep marketing the Santa Cruz as attainable if it costs $5,000 more than Mitsubishi's option. And Toyota, which has relied on the Tacoma's reputation to justify its premium pricing, might finally feel pressure to reintroduce a lower-cost base model. Suddenly, the industry's entire profit model for trucks could come crashing down. And the timing couldn't be worse for the big players. With interest rates high and car loan defaults rising, consumers are demanding affordable vehicles like never before. Automakers are already struggling with bloated inventories and slowing sales, especially in the full-size truck segment. If Mitsubishi triggers a price war, brands that rely heavily on oversized profit margins will be forced to either cut prices or risk losing buyers altogether. That could mean billions in lost revenue for Detroit's Big Three, while Mitsubishi quietly scoops up market share. But here's the kicker. This wouldn't just benefit truck buyers. If Mitsubishi's strategy works, it could spread across the entire industry. Imagine automakers realizing they can't just keep inflating SUV and crossover prices either. A $22,000 pickup might ignite a chain reaction that forces the return of genuinely affordable vehicles across multiple segments. Consumers win, competition heats up, and the auto industry as a whole might have to rethink how it treats value. Of course, there are risks for Mitsubishi. A price war isn't easy to sustain. Margins are razor thin at this level, and if they can't scale production or maintain quality, they risk turning this bold move into a costly mistake. But the very fact that they're willing to take this gamble shows just how serious Mitsubishi is about reclaiming its place in the US market. They're betting everything on affordability, and if it pays off, this truck could become one of the most disruptive launches in recent automotive history. And this is where the story shifts from boardrooms and automaker strategy to the people who matter most, the buyers. Because the real question isn't just whether Mitsubishi can build a $22,000 truck, it's how Americans will react to it. And all signs point to this being exactly what frustrated truck shoppers have been waiting for. Think about farmers and small business owners. For years, they've watched trucks evolve into luxury toys loaded with leather seats, giant screens, and price tags north of $50,000. But what they really need is simple: a reliable work truck that can haul, tow, and get the job done without sinking them into decades of debt. Mitsubishi's pickup promises to give them just that: a tool, not a status symbol. And at $22,000, it's a truck that small businesses and contractors can actually afford to buy in fleets, instead of stretching budgets to cover just one. Then there are first-time buyers. Right now, young people who want a truck are basically locked out of the market unless they're willing to buy used, and even then, used trucks often sell for more than brand new compact cars. A brand new Mitsubishi truck at this price point changes everything. Suddenly, a college grad, a young family, or a 20-something who wants a truck for weekend adventures has an affordable option that's brand new, with warranty coverage, and without the fear of expensive repairs lurking around the corner. That's a game changer for an entire generation of drivers. And don't underestimate the lifestyle crowd. The Maverick proved there's huge demand for a smaller, more versatile pickup that can serve as both a commuter and a weekend warrior. People who surf, camp, mountain bike, or just want the practicality of a bed without the hassle of a giant truck are going to look at Mitsubishi's offering and think, why pay more when I can get everything I need for less? This truck could quickly become the go-to option for adventure seekers who don't care about chrome badges or oversized grills. They just want utility at a fair price. The reaction from these groups could define the future of the truck market. If Mitsubishi earns their trust and delivers on quality, word of mouth will spread like wildfire. Dealerships that once struggled to move Mitsubishi crossovers could suddenly be overwhelmed with demand for this pickup. And once buyers start lining up, competitors will have no choice but to react, or risk losing the most price-sensitive and fast-growing segments of the market. And here's the kicker. American truck culture has always been tied to pride, status, and loyalty. But lately, those values have been colliding with economic reality. If Mitsubishi gives buyers a way to own a capable truck without the crushing financial burden, we could see a cultural shift where practicality wins out over prestige. That would be nothing short of revolutionary for a segment that has been dominated by image and brand loyalty for decades. And this is where things get even more interesting. The dealerships. Because while consumers might cheer for a $22,000 pickup, dealers could see it as a double-edged sword. For years, dealerships have thrived on upselling. They lure buyers in with a base price, only to nudge them toward mid and high trim models stacked with options, warranties, and add-ons that balloon the final price. That's how many dealers survive, by maximizing margins on every truck sold. But Mitsubishi's move threatens to blow that model apart. If the $22,000 pickup becomes the star attraction, dealers won't have as much room to pile on extras. Buyers walking in for this truck are going to be price-conscious, laser-focused on value, and less likely to accept markups or unnecessary add-ons. That could make Mitsubishi's dealers very busy, but also force them to change their sales approach in ways they're not used to. And here's the hidden fear. If Mitsubishi keeps pricing aggressive and transparent, it could expose just how bloated other brands' pricing strategies have become. Imagine a buyer comparing Mitsubishi's straightforward $22,000 truck with a Ford Maverick that mysteriously costs $30,000 after dealer markups. Which way do you think that customer is leaning? If this becomes a trend, dealerships across the country may have to rethink their entire playbook. It also raises another question. How will Mitsubishi handle demand if the truck becomes a hit? Because if dealers start adding huge markups to take advantage of popularity, Mitsubishi risks alienating the very buyers they're trying to win over. That means the brand might have to step in, either by tightening dealer agreements or ramping up production to flood the market and keep prices stable. And that's no small challenge, especially for a brand that doesn't have the same massive US infrastructure as Ford or GM. Still, this could be exactly the kind of disruption dealers and buyers need. For too long, the dealership system has thrived on scarcity and markups, especially with hot new models. If Mitsubishi can prove that affordability sells without the need for gimmicks, it could spark a shift in how trucks are marketed and sold across the industry. And that kind of change would send shockwaves far beyond just one pickup. It would challenge the entire dealership model in America.